Hey guys, we're back with another manifestation video, and I like to drop these as it kind of dawns on me, so that's why they are a lot more casual than some of my astrology videos. No timestamps, nothing like that. So I wanted to talk to you guys about, I'm thinking about a lyric from a Beyonce song, staying in your struggle, basically, and how we kind of perpetuate the struggle. Sometimes we know exactly what we want, or we claim that we want it. It requires a level of thinking, a level of acting and being that you are just not as exercised in. And so when it comes to manifestation, certain times we know what we want, but we are actually more comfortable in the struggle. It's the struggle itself that is the more familiar, and it's unfortunately the place where a lot of us stay. And this is why I bring to the table aspects and discussions from various religious and spiritual concepts. The concepts of sins has been contorted for religious reasons. And you guys have seen the video. If you haven't, check the link below on the 7 sins. I've been calling them lately the 7 sinks. Even more inspired by movies and music. If you think about the Get Out video where he's like sinking in, right? So when you understand the 7 sinks or the 7 sins, especially in how I break it down in the video on my channel, because it's very different than others where people take it to a religious spin, you know, a typical religious spin. That's not really the intention that I have with it. The intention that I want to show you is how the 7 sinks are within the eyes and how it is that we perceive things. And so it creates a perpetual struggle when you stay in those 7 sinks. And the reason that this is such an important element to this discussion and staying in your struggle, because the struggle itself is desirable. That's the thing. The struggle itself is a comfortable place. It's not just comfortable, but it's a desirable place to be. And this is why the 7 sins are enticing. They can keep you in that cyclical place until you learn to go through it. So when you look at the eye, right, pride is all the way in the back and lust is all the way at the forward end, right? And it shows the attraction of pride and lust as they're at the opposite spectrums, that the things that we desire, because lust is just what you desire, and then pride is, you know, how you feel about what you desire. So they both are at the opposite spectrums of the 7 sinks because they both need each other. So when you look at the things that you want to desire, even the things that you really want, right? There is a little bit of pride in it. There is a little bit of, I'm going to enjoy this. And this is something that I really want to have, something I really want to experience. But in order to really actually get it, so the question is, do you really want it? But in order to actually get it, you have to go through the spectrum, right? Versus stay in the levels. In Dante's Purgatory, the 7 sins are levels, and you go through them. You wind, either, depending on how you learn the story, you're either winding up, winding down, or going through them. And I think there's something there about understanding law of attraction and manifesting the feeling state that you really want. So now that we have talked about the 7 sinks and understanding its relationship to the eyes and understanding why people stay in their struggle. People stay in their struggle because the 7 sinks are enticing and appetizing, okay? So this is why we find ourselves stuck. All right. And now when we look at its connection to the eyes, we can also see that the eyes are easily deceived. And it is what we see that becomes the thing that we constantly manifest, right? It doesn't always have to be the case, but that is what ends up happening because we believe in our eyes. We believe in what it is that we have seen. The way that you perceive things is connected to the 7 sins. Okay. So if you see something and you desire something, it's connected to some sort of pride, ego, greed, gluttony, lust. It's connected to one of those things. But the idea of this is that what you see, you think that is all, like it is it. Okay, so like you think that this is how it is, this is how it always will be. These are the things that we come to when we see things. So the eyes are easily deceptive, because through the eyes you see manifestation, and you almost limit manifestation through the eyes, because the eyes are limited. They can only see so much, and then they can only see so far and so wide. But also the perception of the eye is laced in your perception of ego, your perception of envy, gluttony, greed, lust. It's all about your perception of things. So there's a lot that's happening with the eyes. And when we manifest only using the eyes, we can only manifest what we have seen already. So you only believe on what you're capable of doing based off of what you have seen. And that's why the eyes are so limited. Look at any and all undesirable circumstances in this way. Take the scope of the 7 sins and walk through the one that you feel that you are feeling the most. This requires humility. But if you take that walk and you find the one that you're sinking in the most, then go through that one first. Look at yourself. Look at how it is that you're embodying that. Think about what it is that you want to create more of. Every and any undesirable circumstance is something that either you ignore completely, as some would say, right? Which means to be like this. Okay? Or you would not speak on, as some would say, which is to be like this. Or you would not listen, also to be like this. Okay? Or you can embody all of your senses, but you must use them all, and you must see it, hear it, and speak on it. Okay? Requiring you to remold and define it after the path of humility, which was looking at your scope and discovering where it was that you were sinking in. Then you could go ahead and start to remold it through how you hear it, see it, and speak it. Your undesirable circumstances can either be something you completely do not put any attention to, or you do, but you do it with a lot of recreation, renewal, and re-intention. The true beauty of Scorpio, the death and the rebirth of an undesirable circumstance.